Welcome Reddit bingers. People living in small towns, what's the recent scandal? Disclaimer, not a small town scandal, just neighborhood news. A gang was trying to extort a grocery store owner. They spray painted a threat on the side of his building and showed up the next day when employees were cleaning it off. The grocery store owner goes back inside, grabs a gun, and shoots one of them. Also, my brother-in-law found a lost cell phone while he and my husband were jogging. As they got home, the cell phone rang, my brother-in-law answered, and it was the police. A smoke shop had been robbed and the robbers took all the employees' cell phones so they couldn't call the cops and ditched them a few blocks away, and they wanted to collect it for evidence. A few days ago, Amber Alert sent out an emergency message about a fellow in a green car who had stabbed his girlfriend and stolen their baby out of San Jose, which is 3 hours north of us. Lo and behold, the guy was caught right at our own downtown gas station when the kidnapper accidentally locked the baby and his keys in his car, which drew attention to him. A good Samaritan from an entirely different town, a tourist, put the puzzle together, and put the guy in a headlock until the authorities arrived. Not really recent, but the owner of the petting zoo turned out to be a serial murderer and buried 2 corpses under the goat enclosure. A lot of kids volunteered there and walked over them unknowingly. He murdered the couple, and used their house, car and money. Edit, he murdered more people before this couple, that's why I called him a serial killer. His mistake was not using pigs. Be wary of any man who keeps a pig farm. And anyone who owns a large kiln. I had an art teacher who said that some kilns burn hot enough to burn up a human corpse, bones and all. My small town includes a pretty large zoo, and a tapir has recently escaped and is still at large. This reminds me, once in the city I used to live, a red panda escaped on his first day of being in his new enclosure. It was a big city and all trains were shut down because they thought they had seen him next to the train tracks. Turned out that he was just sleeping in a tree next to the enclosure. I'll never forget the day a tiny little red panda shut down the whole train traffic because he was sleeping in a tree. They did not find the tapir yet. How could you not find a tapir? Edit, well guys, I learned one thing today, red pandas love to escape and they are good at it. The school gym teacher was fired after being caught masturbating in the equipment room. He was caught by 2 students. A few days later he killed himself. Everyone is a bit shaken up about it. Damn, everything sucks about that. Drama class was interrupted by a cow giving birth in the field across from the school. That's some small town shit right there. It's more of a village, but turns out the, now 90 years old teacher that everyone had as a teacher wasn't just really forgetful, turns out she was in a car crash and got short-term memory loss. I have short-term memory loss from a car accident. My phone is my lifesaver. I have alerts set for everything. I also have post-it notes everywhere and my daughter helps me keep track. At work I have list of daily tasks that needs to be done and my boss knows to text me instructions, because if he tells me I will forget. I totally forgot about my son's doctor's appointment this week. I was supposed to pick him up after school and take him for a checkup. I forgot to put the alert on my phone and got a call from him wondering why I'm not there. All I could say was I forgot. He understands, he lives with it every day. Even my kids text me stuff they want me to remember. I read old text messages every day to try to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. It doesn't always work. My long-term memory is fantastic. A local police department likes to post wanted pictures on its Facebook page. The other day, I saw one of their shitty wanted postings of some woman who is allegedly evading police for drug charges and intent to distribute. The suspect herself commented on the post and said, "I'm not evading, I'm not on the run, I've been out of town, and when I come back I'm turning myself in." Maybe not a scandal, but I thought that was pretty funny. It'd be funny if she was on the run but still commenting. We had one of those in my town. The guy was taunting the police non-stop in his comments. Forward to a week later and they post a mugshot of the guy crying cause he got caught. A pigeon got caught in the supermarket and it made front page of local news website with live updates. I am hollering live updates. Somebody in town has a bunch of mannequins in their front yard. I love that every town seems to have that weird art person who decorates their yard. Sometimes it's incorporated into the driving directions, like take the first left after the carousel horse house and every local knows exactly what's up. A couple months ago someone left their fire pit in their driveway for a few days. They received a mailed letter from an anonymous neighbor shaming them for making the neighborhood look bad. The recipient then posted the letter on the town's Facebook page. People ran with it and created the first annual front yard fire night. There are no scandals in my town. The town authorities cover everything up. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. A substitute teacher at the high school started smoking a joint in class in front of students. Apparently it was some kind of weed pen, not an actual joint. I mean, I love the devil's lettuce but, why would any sane adult think it's okay to do that? I'm shocked so many people haven't heard that term. Apparently the guy has brain cancer, so that supposedly might have impaired his judgment. More likely, the cancer impaired the amount of fucks he gives. The town went with the lowest bidder for a big road work contract, and it turns out they were totally unqualified for the job and were messing stuff up. So the town fired them and hired the second lowest bidder. Same thing. They're on their third contractor now, and the project which was supposed to be done this summer will hopefully be finished sometime next year. Hopefully they finish in time for the Piston Cup. He did what in his cup? Our city council just voted to give themselves a 103% raise. For reference, the pay is low mid 20k currently. The raise puts the pay at 52k. The support is that more people will be able to get into office with the higher pay, and wages were stagnant from many years ago. So instead of the gradual pay increase over those years with cost of living, it's been adjusted to the current market today, resulting in a significant jump. The overall trend from opposers is that they were blindsided and didn't get to vote on it like the last mayor said should happen. Our town's more medium than small, but whatever. A month or so ago a couple high school gangs got into a huge mosh pit fight. About 6 months or so ago a college student got arrested for beheading his mother. Well, that fucking escalated. Our newly elected mayor, who is a school teacher as well, caused a head-on car crash injuring 2 small children in the other car. She was found to be drunk and it was 3:30 p.m. on a weekday. The kicker, she wasn't charged with a crime, as of yet, but she did resign after considerable thought. That's so sweet of her. So brave. Such a class act, she should be re-elected. My grandparents' small town has had a recent outbreak of teenagers riding horses through the middle of downtown, while wearing nothing but face masks. It has happened a total of 3 times now, always different kids, always different horses. I don't know why, but this was the funniest to me. Like, are they going to hold up a stagecoach or some shit? Run like the wind, Bessie. It's the nude bandits. I left my small town years ago, but I was home over Thanksgiving and got an earful. The local grocery store was renovated, expanded after 30 years, and now everything's moved and you can't find nothing. I was home for 4 days and literally every new social interaction with people in town involved the goddamn grocery store and how awful it is now. Spoiler, it actually looks quite nice and they hang signs over the aisles telling you where things are. You know, like a grocery store. I manage one of the stores in my town. We haven't moved anything around in over 5 years and I get people in all the time that claim, why did you move everything? This isn't where it was last time I was in. Local middle school teacher is a suspect in human trafficking. The scandal in my town is always the same. Someone is sleeping with someone else's husband. Or the 50-year-old dating the 18-year-old. I grew up in a small town. It always amazed me the number of men who were dating their daughter's best friend. Is dating just a classier term for fucking? During my sister's volleyball game, one of the super aggressive sports dads slapped someone else's kid cause apparently she set the ball into a bad positioning and that caused his daughter to miss the spike. His kid is shit at the game. I played volleyball for a long ass time and my mum sent me footage of the set. She set that ball beautifully for the small league she's in. They won the game, just be happy. The entire community is turned against him right now and the family of the girl is considering pressing charges, which I feel they should cause. This guy has gotten close to crossing the line before and he needs to be reprimanded for his actions. Edit. A lot of you have commented about how he didn't get his ass beat at the game. No one had the chance because immediately realized he fucked up and ran out to his car. He drove away leaving his kid to be embarrassed and alone in a court full of people pissed at her dad. One of the nice moms gave her a ride back to her house where she spent the night, and on a happier note, I've just learned from my mum that charges are being pressed, and investigations into the living conditions in his house are being conducted. I'll update when the results come in. In 2017, we had some kid going around to random porches and lighting bags of his own poop on fire. He never got caught. Then how do you know the poop is his? It didn't taste like animal poo. Thanks for binging with the Reddit Wolf. Don't forget to like and subscribe.